A prisoner deliberately dirted a spoon on the sole of his shoe, then called for the guard to request a replacement. Without hesitation, the guard agreed. However, this small oversight by the guard would unknowingly lead to one of the greatest prison escapes in history. While the guard's attention was diverted, a teammate distracted him, and John seized the opportunity to grab the new spoon. Yet, no one noticed that John had actually taken 2 spoons. Back in his cell, John managed to get some extra supplies from an old inmate. Once everything was ready, he broke the spoon in half, then disassembled a pair of nail clippers. Using the file, he ground a coin into powder, then struck a match to melt the coin powder by connecting it to the spoon handle and file. Under the intense flame, the coin powder melted, and soon enough, John had successfully welded the pieces together, creating a useful tool for his escape. Next, John began hammering at the vent in the wall. With his newly crafted tool, progress was quicker. However, just as he was making headway, a guard appeared on patrol. His teammate immediately started to whistle as a signal, but in his panic, he couldn't get the whistle to work. In desperation, he picked up a cup and tapped the cell door. Hearing the approaching footsteps of the guard, John quickly returned the box to its original spot and threw his jacket under the bed, narrowly avoiding detection. The next day, John created a large hole in the wall, but found that a piece of wire mesh inside was too sturdy to remove. Thinking quickly, John wedged a wooden shim between the wire and wall and kicked it a few times until the mesh came loose. Peeking through, John saw a network of pipes on the other side but realized he still had to avoid surprise checks from the guards. He used newspaper and dirt to create a dummy head, painted it with flesh-toned paint, and added some hair. He placed the dummy under his blanket to make it look like he was asleep. Once everything was in place, he crawled into the vent, carefully positioning the false mesh back in place. Just as he entered the vent, the guard came to check the cell. The guard didn't think much of the dummy and left. John crawled upward through the vent, reaching the highest floor of the prison. He climbed higher but encountered a metal window. He couldn't reach it despite all his efforts, so he had to abandon the plan for the night. The next day during dinner, John shared his struggles with his fellow inmates, and they began digging through their own vents. That evening, John, along with one teammate, returned to the rooftop beneath the iron window. John climbed on his teammate's shoulders to take a look and discovered that the window was firmly fixed. To open it, they would need a power drill and some wire. Luckily, there was an electrical outlet nearby, but acquiring these items from inside the prison was almost impossible. By sheer coincidence, during the next music class, John noticed the necessary items in the classroom. The real challenge was how to smuggle them past the guards.